here is what you do when you're bored and you have no friends and you don't know what to do about it. Now, I know what it's like to have no friends and be bored. Like, you have so much time! I'm making this video for that fucking 14-year-old kid in his, maybe her room on a Saturday, having a low-key existential crisis, who's like, dude, I really don't know what to do with my life. Bro, if you're 14, you know how many 40-year-olds are further behind in life than you? There are probably 80-year-olds further behind them. You are blessed.
Fucking bless your soul.
I believe that shame is easily one of the worst emotional insults that you could possibly do to people. I don't like being shamed. I don't know why anyone would. And the last thing I ever want to do is shame the viewer because I feel like that's extremely fucked up. And dude, I mean, if you're bored, then, you know, you're bored. And if you have no friends, let's face it, you're probably bored because of that. Like, what are you gonna do when you have no friends other than be bored? Are your friends your primary source of entertainment? If you're a very outgoing person, what's stopping you from making more of them? Do you ever think about what boredom leads to and like what it causes? Probably a lot of great things. Probably a lot of terrible things. A big mentor of mine, his name's Grant Cardone, he was addicted to drugs from maybe 16 to 26, somewhere around there. A whole decade. Like really bad shit. Not just drinking and smoking and pills. He would do literally whatever he could possibly get his hands on. And at 60, he is now worth over $500 million. He founded a now $800 million real estate empire that's growing like crazy. Oh, and a bunch of other companies that funded it. He hosts a convention every year that he wants to be known as the Super Bowl of entrepreneurship. Is the biggest one I've ever heard of. It's called the 10X Growth Con. I'm gonna go there someday. Right now, I don't really have time. But he's basically a fucking huge thinker taking huge actions. And in his London Real interview, he says that boredom is the biggest problem in society. And if you take a very close look at boredom and another one at society, you may notice that one affects the other, right? What's cool about boredom, though, is it gives you a lot of freedom. Boredom is freedom in disguise. Because you have all the time in the world. Do you have all the money in the world? Maybe not. Do you have all the energy in the world? Maybe not. Do you have all the knowledge in the world? All the power, all the love, all the peace, happiness, sex, friends, hobbies? What do you want? Like, more than anything. I would spend at least the next, like, day or two or week or whatever the fuck you need really thinking about that. And when you think of something, think about it. Like, really think about it. Like, every single morning, think about that thing. Say something to yourself about it when you wake up. Say something about it to yourself when you go to bed. Because by doing that, you plant a seed in your head. A seed that you can water, and it begins to grow into the thing you want. And eventually, I swear, if you think about it long enough, you will actually end up finding people who feel the same way about it and also want it. And when I say what you want, I mean more than literally anything. To the point where you're willing to put even the things you're scared of, even those things to the side and be like,
I don't care, I want it anyway.
I remember when I was 17, I figured, you know, maybe I could become like a professional pianist or something. But the music industry is so dumbed down. All the music on the radio is so basic. I want something more complex. Something people can listen to and maybe even study. But no, since people are so set up on this pop music, listening to the same songs every day, it's like there's too much noise. How would I break through it? I'd probably have to start taking piano lessons too. Or else people would judge me for it and say they don't like what I do because I don't use proper technique, right? I was self-taught. I'd also have to get good at singing too. Unless I find a good singer I can work with long term. But that would require me to meet people. And I don't want to do that. Go out and actually talk to people. Introduce myself to them. Like, why does this shit have to be so complicated? And exhausting to think about. It's because I didn't want it enough. Eventually, I had a friend introduce me to something that I loved so much, I stopped playing piano for it. I was like, whoa. To me, this was so addictive. I could just spend all my time doing it. And it's something people make millions and millions of dollars a year with. A program for making beats. I could make beats, then I was like, dude, what else is there? Beats aren't enough. So I started rapping and then singing. And now I'm on a track to be putting entirely self-made songs on the radio. Like pop and rap and like EDM songs. The type that people actually like listening to. But songs about like becoming a better person. Like taking better care of your health, moving on in life, and how to do it. Things that if everybody made songs about, and movies and shows about, school wouldn't need to exist. And everyone would have all this extra time to do whatever they want. People would share their ideas and solve problems, and that's what I see when I look at the future. An upward spiral of progression and growth and change. Not some shit where people talk about how much everything sucks and everyone puts each other down.
Oh yeah, well you fucked too many boys last year.
Oh yeah, well you're ignorant.
Oh yeah, well you spelled that word wrong because your and your aren't the same thing just because they sound the same. Learn the difference.
But I don't mean to generalize. All of these things are going to happen to some degree forever. I don't know, man. I found what I'm good at, or I guess great at, what I do better than anything else. And I was like, how do I market this? Because dude, if I could spend my time doing this and getting paid for it, that would literally be, heaven. I'm definitely getting paid for it now. I started learning about marketing and stuff. I started writing about it in my songs. I always write about what I'm learning about as I apply those things. That's what all these YouTube videos are. But I learned from mixing services because I wasn't always passionate about mixing. It's that if you're not good at something, but you want to start getting paid for it anyway, this is gonna suck. But if you don't have a job, get one. Preferably one that's kind of similar to what you're getting good at. And regardless of what it is, find enough time, no matter what, that you can spend working on it. Get internet access so you can communicate with people on the go. And literally, this is gonna sound weird, but offer to do what you want to get paid for, but just offer it for free. Be like, look, I want to practice, I need to get better at this. I'm not confident in it enough anyway for myself to just charge. If you already have a job, you can just work on that side hustle. It's a process, but dude, if you want it badly enough, I say this
All the time.
if you want it badly enough, you'll make it happen. If you don't want it badly enough, remember, what would you rather have? A life of that or a life of boredom and loneliness? Because hey man, everybody has someone they can reach out to. If you guys need someone that badly, fucking reach out to me. Or better yet, like look on Instagram. Sure, you have your job, your coworkers. If you don't genuinely love your job to the point where you can make it something you do pretty much like all the time, I don't know about you, but straight up, I wouldn't accept it. I mean, I've worked there, but like I wouldn't accept it for a long period of time. That's not enough. Some people love doing that. Good for them, but I mean, not me. Maybe that's just me. If you look on Instagram, someone somewhere is out there and you can meet them. There are always local people, like like-minded people. I've met 2 or 3 in the past 2 years I spent in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and someone who's like-minded to me is, I feel like they're not easy to find. Here, I don't think, especially with my homebody hermit ass, bro, I have met or at least spoken to so many people who like or listen to my music, probably 99% of which through the internet, but so few of them have been to or finished college. If the younger ones never go to college, I will not be surprised. Good for them. Save so much money and time on this $1.6 trillion debt crisis, which by the way is growing. If you're gonna have a debt crisis on your hands, even in your own microscopic scale, that's a problem. But if you have any problem in your life that you create, even if it's a big one, that's definitely a good thing. Problems are a good thing. Anything is a good thing when you compare it to boredom and loneliness, because those lead to some of the worst fucking things in human history. Rather have a problem on your hands than be bored and lonely. A problem is just another word for mystery. Scooby-Doo's pretty entertaining. Imagine Scooby-Doo in real life. Figure it out. Look for clues. Look for answers. You'll make plenty of friends along the way. You may lose some along the way. But what is growth other than losing one thing to gain another? How are muscles built? How are cities, gentrified? Nothing stays the same. That's what makes life life. But remember, whatever you do, at least you won't be bored and friendless. And if you are friendless, I have a video about how to get over, how to deal with feeling lonely. So I'm gonna drop that in the description too. What do you guys do when you have no friends? Who has had experience with this problem? Who can offer some insights to the table? I want to know what you guys have to say about it. Also, let me know if you guys have any ideas you want me to talk about in future videos, and I'll give you a shout out if and when I use them. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. There are links at the bottom of the description of all my social media. Also at the bottom of the description, there are links to my production kits where you can find all the software and hardware that I use to make music and these videos. If you buy any, I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos for you guys. I made all the beats in this video. If you want to use them, you can find links to each one first to last in the description or at samuel.earth/beats. Make sure to leave a like if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could turn on that little bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.